Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Factorio Beginner's Guide. My name is Negative, and let's get cracking with today's episode. Now we're going to be talking about a couple of things. We're going to be improving the factory, continuing along on our path to the rocket defense, because that is of course what we want to do. We want to get rescued, so we need to send up a satellite so that we can communicate with our saviors. But in the meantime, we have issues. We have large issues. You'll notice that our petroleum gas is again empty. Now this fix, right, this fix was only ever temporary. Okay, it was only ever to get us through that little patch until we had advanced oil processing. But now we have it, we need to implement it. Now you'll notice that basic oil processing is all well and good. Okay, it takes 10 crude oil, gives you 3 heavy, 3 light, and 4 petroleum. That's nice. But you'll notice that advanced oil gives you 1 heavy, 4.5 light, and 5.5 petroleum, but it also requires some water. So you'll notice that this build, right, this build has room for water in here. Now I did this deliberately because I knew it was coming, because I have played this game before. So what we're going to do right now is we're actually going to implement a water inflow so that we can use the advanced processing, because it's so much better. It creates a lot less useless products, because we can't really, we don't want too much light and heavy oil. It's no use to us really. We need that petroleum. The petroleum gas is what we want, and I wonder if this will actually work. Can we put a pump right there? If we can, I am a happy boy. I am a happy boy. There we go. So we will just hook this up. Okay, we're going to start to see things start up. Oh, I missed. So this is going to create all that we want. Okay, very nice. Now the next part of advanced oil processing is actually to do with the chemical plants. Now I need a little bit more steel, so we'll go grab that. Might just balance this while we're here. Now I keep getting asked about belt balances. Now belt balances they're a minor thing. Don't worry about them too much. It's all about squeezing efficiency from your factory. That's all it is. So what I've just done is I've just increased the density of the belt from this to this. That is a very minor thing. So as a beginner, don't worry too much about belt balances. Okay, they're a minor efficiency thing. If you can do them, you'll get just that little bit extra out of the factory. So it's nice to have. So, but don't stress too much about them. Really, do not stress too much about it, because it is it's such a minor thing that you wouldn't want to go changing everything simply because you don't have any belt balances. You probably got a fine factory without them, especially if your furnace design is inherently balanced like mine is. Okay, there's the only thing that'll happen, right, when you draw heavily on one side of the line here, the only thing that happens is, guess what, more furnaces turn on. There's no need to actually balance this. Okay, it balances itself. And that's all I'm trying to say, is don't get too hung up on something that is relatively minor. I'm gonna need more pipe. I built that one. Grab some circuits while we're here. 800 circuits sounds good to me. Grab some pipe. Are we okay? Yeah, we're okay. Yeah, good. We'll grab that and that. Gee, I've got a lot of iron on me. I probably need to clean up my inventory somewhat. Now let's go and build something. Now, as I was saying, the chemical plants. Advanced oil processing gives you access to, obviously, the advanced oil processing through the refineries. getting this better recipe, I would say. You know, this better ratio between the three. But it also gives you something else. Now, if we grab one of these, okay, and have a look in here, we can now crack heavy oil into light oil, and we can also crack light oil into petroleum gas. Happy fucking days. Okay, we have a way of dealing with all this light oil now. All this backed up light oil that we've got, we can deal with it. So what we're going to do is we are going to build a build that is going to be all about getting rid of this excess light oil. So we're going to start placing these bad boys down. I think something like that is nice. Now we're going to want a few of these. We do need water as well, so keep that in mind. We will need water. Actually, do I want to perhaps... I think I want to build this a different way. We're going to need more of them, so we'll just build plenty of. Okay. So we will line it up with this point here, I think. So we come off here. Something like this. Get rid of that tree, get rid of this tree. There's 6, there's 8. I think that might actually be enough. Now I'm completely making this up on the fly. This isn't a standard build or anything. Always important to make your builds traversable though, so remember that. Make it so that you can run between them. There's one rule that I do like to stick to. It's so infuriating not being able to just run wherever you want. Okay, so that's that, nice. Now we just need to throw down some these. Okay, now we're starting to look the goods. We're gonna go, yeah, light oil cracking. Shift right click to copy, shift left click to paste. Very nice. Power. I need to get water in, obviously. That's relatively easy. And we also need to get the light oil in. Now, does that line up? I think that lines up. Harold. Ah! I'm a fucking genius is what I am. But not really, that was a complete fluke. Don't think that I planned that. I didn't plan that. Just kind of happened. Gonna need more belt too. More pipe. Okay, so we'll go grab some more pipe because we're gonna need tons of it. Like tons. What else have we got here? We've also got some chemical plants left over for our heavy oil cracking too. We don't need quite as much heavy oil because the recipe gives tons of light oil but not much heavy oil. So we're kind of good in that regard. Alright, here we go. Grab that. Yeah, sure, we'll grab that. So we've got plenty, or should have plenty now. Okay. Happy days. Happy old days. We'll go complete this build now. And while we're running, I'll actually tell you a little bit about the music. Because I got sick of it stopping, I've now ripped the soundtrack out of the game, and I have put it into a media player. because I got sick of it stopping, so now I can control the bloody thing. And it works. It works most of the time anyway. Okay, it's a little bit dark here. I am aware. I will put down some lights. Where to plug it in? That works. Go. Oh, the attacks is starting to ramp up. Some underground pipe. Hey, there we go. We've got the bare bones of this side set up. Plug all of this in. Very nice. And we need some water as well. We're going to do a similar looking pattern, except it's going to come out a little bit further. That's all that's going to happen here. That's just to give us room for everything. Because we don't want everything too close, because then it becomes a little bit too complicated. And you will go cross-eyed. If you look at pipes for half an hour or so, you will give yourself a headache. It is a little bit hard to track where everything goes. Now, we have a water line. See what I mean? It's very easy to miss things. We have a water line that we just need to hook into the water that is here. Pretty easy, really. We will grab this line here. Okay, so now that is all done, and now this is actually working. This is already working. This is already taking our light oil and turning it into petroleum gas. We're going to see increased production straight away, basically. Now, that's really good. So we'll do the other side as well to make sure it all works. Actually, I might do that off camera, just to keep things moving. I'll hook up this other side off camera because it's just the same thing. Okay, but we've got the light oil problem somewhat solved, partially solved. I may need to expand that out as well to a bigger kind of thing. Now you may notice that this belt balancer is now completely superfluous because the belt is compressed, so it doesn't actually do much here in this circumstance. Oh, I've also had people asking about my splitter usage. What is this? Oh my god. Some people have asked, you know, instead of doing this, why do you do that? Because I think that looks better. I don't like putting these kinds of things. I don't like doing U-turns in belts, you know, making things look like that. That looks ugly. I would prefer just to, you know, keep things in straight lines where possible. Like, fair enough, if you want to do it that way, do it that way. It doesn't, there's no difference between the two. In fact, my way uses more resources, but I think that straight lines looks better. You can see my design philosophy is all about straight lines where possible. Anyway, so we need to move on to the next part of the episode. Now, you'll notice that we have these roboports now dotted throughout the factory. And this was something that I'm probably going to devote a large amount of time to, because it's fairly complicated. It's a new gameplay mechanic, okay? By this stage, we are safe game, beginner's guide. We're 8 hours into this. Actually, save that. We are actually 8 hours into this game, and we're about to learn an entirely new mechanic. Right? So most games, you know, introduce all they're going to teach you in the first kind of half an hour, and it's like, get good at that. Factorio, you know, this is a new gameplay mechanic. There are a few mechanics that you don't learn until later in the game. And I think that's fairly unique, possibly. fairly unique. I don't know. Anyway, so we have roboports, okay, and I've dotted them throughout the factory. You can see the yellow lines, and you can see them just sitting here, 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 here. And you can also see that there's this orange background, and then there's this green background. See those two? Now, the thing about roboports is they give coverage. And they give coverage for your logistics and your construction robots, okay? They're the red ones and the yellow ones. Now, what's the difference between the two? Well, construction robots build things, and logistics robots move things. That's basically what they do. So you'll notice that there's an orange box and then a green box. Now, if I come over here, you can see the difference between the two. Now, when I put the orange box up against the existing ones, you see that there's some yellow lines that appear. Now I'm going to sneeze, so I'll pause the game. I will. I'm not going to sneeze. It went away. I talked it out of it. Excellent. You see that when I put the orange box up against the existing ones, you see that there's these yellow lines that appear. Okay. And as I connect it with more, it's obviously getting closer to the network. Now, what this means is it's now connected. So if I was to place this here, we have now extended our network. Okay, so this roboport is part of this entire network that extends over the majority of our factory right now. Okay, and I built this into my factory now. I've placed some around. I've just hodgepodged them everywhere to make sure that there's nice coverage. I actually done goofed with the main bus. You might remember that I told you to do 3 wide. It should have been 4, so you can actually put a roboport in between. So I've just like hacked it into the iron bus. A little bit ugly, but you know, whatever. It works. That's all we need. So this we've now got our factory completely covered by the orange, which is the logistics, and the green, which is the construction. Okay. So what we're going to do is just set up a quick little production chain over here to get robots building. All right, and then in the next episode, we're actually going to come back and we're going to start learning about logistics robots and construction robots in the next episode. So what I've got is, this is the end of our production chain. We have our robot frames being put onto a belt, and then we have pardon me, an assembly machine making construction robots, an assembly machine making logistics robots. Now normally what we do is, you know, we'd come up here, we'd grab a red circuit line and bring it down and in so that we could insert, and then we'd grab a green circuit line and bring it in and insert, but you know, those days are over. We're now officially into the mid-game, and we're going to be using robots, because robots are cool. Now, what I've done... Hey, I can hear things dying. We're good? We're good. Right. So, you see here, I put down a couple of boxes, and I've got some green inserters. I'll explain that very shortly. Basically, what the boxes do is they give you a way of interacting with the logistics network. And the bots use the logistics network for all the gear. So you've got 4 kinds of boxes: active providers, passive providers, requesters, and storage chests. We'll start with requesters because they're fairly easy. What does a requester do? It requests things. That easy. So for the example of the construction robot, what we want to do is we want to say, well, look, we've got the flying robot frames, we need the electronic circuits. Can we request them in? And we place. So we will go logistics and we will say we want electronic circuits, and we're going to want, yeah, 200, say. Okay, so once we've got this all hooked up, this will now request in 200 electric circuits. Now, over here, the logistics robots need red circuits, advanced circuits. So we'll set this up as well. Now, actually, there's another way of doing this. You can shift right click, shift left click, and it will actually drag in what you need to, what's desired. We'll delete the robot frames because they're right there. We've set it up. So we've got these 2 requests now established. Now I'm running out of time a little bit, but we will get through this little part. Now you'll notice that when I hover over this, there's this, you can see that the red box is inside the orange area, but the blue box is not. Okay, now this is very, very important. These boxes only work when they're inside the orange area, okay, when they're part of the logistics network. If they sit outside of it, the bots can't see it. They can't access it, okay? It must be within range of one of these roboports. That's the only way in which they work. All right. Now, write this down here, and actually, I will move these a little bit, just a smidge. I have a plan. I normally do. I have an idea of what I want to do, and it's just a matter of implementing it. Okay, shift left click, pull in what we want to, what this would need. Then we want to expand it out to 200 at least, and we can adjust that as we go. Now we're also going to throw in an inserter there and there. We'll throw down power pole. All right, so this is pretty much ready to go now, but we just need a few bots to get it started. Now, I'm going to stop the episode here because in the next episode, we're going to really start to get into the meat and bones of the logistics and construction robots, and I need to. It's going to take us a little bit of time, so I'm going to go away. I'm going to fix up the remainder of our oil. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode of the Factorio Beginner's Guide.